Back at it
What a
again, Garbo.
win.
What a win. What a win. Conference win.
Yeah, you were worried you wouldn't get one in December. I said, Ty, we're
Yep.
going to get one in December.
We almost had one on the road, too.
Almost had two.
Almost had two. Those boys came to play. Want to first and foremost, Garbo, I want to have some apologies. First going off on this. First apology goes to Leo O'Boyle. If you
Knew
remember our
that was
last
coming.
podcast, yep. I was nagging on him saying he can't shoot. He's out there getting cardio. Lo and
I
behold,
don't
look what he
think
does.
I don't think you were as negative as you think you were. You said he's our best shooter. Rhodes says it all the time, and that's who he's talking about. And you
Yep.
knew this was coming. I think you did. You
I
just
I
didn't know
felt like
when.
we had plays for him that he had wide open threes. He had to make them. And I'm glad he finally came out. That was a coming out party. A little bit of bench production. Second apology though, Garbo. I want to go to you.
Oh, thank you.
Seeing the Maryland game. Thank you. You don't even know what this apology's for.
I'll accept any apology.
I know. But beginning of the podcast, we were talking about our guy Kanye Clary, and it was evident from the Maryland game our offense needs to run through him for us to be productive. It just has to. I don't think Ace Baldwin is that guy.
I mean, he was that guy with 32 seconds left against Ohio State. That's for sure.
Yes, he
Pop
was.
goes the weasel. But yeah, Kanye had 25 in that Maryland game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point in that game, we were up by 11. I wasn't watching the game live, but I kept checking my phone. First half, it was like, how we're up by like 10 on the road.
I know.
So what did you see in that Maryland game? I caught the end of it, but
I mean, what I saw again was Kanye Clary and Ace Baldwin doing what they do. More importantly, was Kanye Clary and Ace Baldwin getting the free throw line and making their free throws. That down the
Kanye's 7 for
stretch,
7.
Ace Baldwin 9 for 9. If you're getting to the hoop and they're aggressive, they're going downhill towards the hoop and they're making their free throws, kind of a hard combo to stop. Kind
For
of hard
sure.
combo stuff. And Ace Baldwin mid-range game.
They seem to make the right plays all the time. I know earlier in the year you were worried about Kanye's turnovers. That's not as much a
Right?
concern either. But Ace has like a different pace than Kanye, where you kind of trust him to make the right play all the time. Sometimes Kanye's moving so fast, he's trying to make something happen. You get a little worried. But
Right?
one thing I saw from not watching the game, but just checking the stats, was it looked like we gave up 53 offensive rebound or 53 rebounds
Mm-hmm.
and 23 offensive rebounds, which down the road, Wahab only had 9 rebounds.
I know.
They had
I know.
53. That's a little concerning.
I mean, honestly, besides Wahab and Kern, if those two guys are not on the floor, I don't know who's getting the rebounds. I mean, I guess Baldwin's got to go in there, make some box outs, but yeah, rebounding is definitely a concern. We're not physically built. I mean, we look at Puff; he doesn't have that build. I think this will be a theme all throughout Big Ten play, just because there's big bodies on every single team. And if Wahhab's not in the game, I am concerned about rebounds. You're not wrong there, Garbo.
And then the other thing too is I've been calling for some Demetrius Lilly. We saw 8 minutes of him in Maryland. And
Mm-hmm.
as somebody who didn't watch the game, I saw he had 5 personal fouls. Don't really know what happened there, but I think that's another guy who can get some rebounds. He had 2,
Mm-hmm. He
so
did. His problem, Garbo's footwork. End of the day, I mean, I know he's got great footwork, but I was seeing, he's hacking a lot. I mean, he's just not light-footed. He's getting fouls. He's trying to stop plays, but
he's a
yeah,
big, thick guy. You need a
he's
little
a
bit of
big,
that
thick guy.
though.
And again, we talked about last episode too. I'm worried about our depth at forward. If he's going to foul, he's not going to be there. It puts a huge load on Wahab, and I guess apparently Hicks, and no sign of Zaire. I have yet to see him really play all that much.
Yeah, he had a hand brace going on, like cast
And
type situation. So I don't know
but,
when we'll see him.
but Leo Boyle at forward. I mean, I guess he'll be making rebounds.
To your point about not really having forwards, like kind of going back and watching that Ohio State game a little bit, the pace of
Mm-hmm.
play and how quick it was, you don't really need a forward as much when the pace is that fast. Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
scrapping, everybody's moving, and rebound just goes to who's in the right spot at the right time kind of deal.
Right?
Ohio State, man, they looked really good. They
Yes,
got
they
some
do.
shooters. They
Yeah.
they
Jamison
just
Battle
destroyed
transfer
us in
from
the first
Minnesota.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're tough. At one point, Garbo was seeing it was 15 minutes left in the second half. We were down 27-55, 18-point
Wow.
deficit, 15 minutes left, and we came back to win. But again, it just shows. I'm glad to see that because the Bucknell game, I mean, I just saw a dead team out there looking for this game to end. Ohio State, they had every right to just, fold up. Hey, we're down 18, 15 minutes left. I don't want to play hard. Those guys fought. Those
They
guys never
did.
gave up, and I can respect that.
That's kind of what I said after the Bucknell game too, was this could be a turning point for us. You lose a game
Yep.
like that, you just get your heart ripped out. How do you bounce back from that? There was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of basketball left, and we showed that we're gonna fight. We're gonna scrap out
Yep.
some wins.
Yeah. Showed with
Um,
Maryland, took them to overtime. I mean, that's all I could ask for. It was a great game. We didn't get the win at the end of the day, but by golly, we were right there the whole time.
and on the road, it's tough to win in the Big Ten. But just
Yes, it
looking
is.
really quick at the box score in the Ohio State game, I talked about not having a lot of wings. You said forwards. I'm going to call them wing players, like scorers
Yeah.
on offense, other than our guards. We had 32 points off the bench,
Yep.
or
Leo Boyle.
33 points off the bench. Leo Boyle with 15, but another guy who I've said his name a lot, DeMarco Dunn with 16, man, 7 for
Oof.
11. He knocked down two key threes. DeMarco Dunn stepped up and he looked really, really good in this game. And Ohio
Mm-hmm.
State, we only played 4 guys off the bench. Ohio State played 3, and they had 35. No, they had 25 points off the bench. So we outscored Ohio State off the bench, which
And
is
that's
good. Good
no,
looking
that's key
forward.
for us. But just not a concern as much as kind of observation. It's kind of a carousel of guys that go off. I mean, we've had Wahab with a couple of 15-point games, Nick Kern, couple of 15-point games, Leo Boyle, Jameel Brown, DeMarco Dunn. It'd be nice to get some kind of consistency from one other guy to pair with Ace Baldwin, to pair with Kanye Clary, because you've seen if we get bench production, we can hang with Ohio State. I don't know. Crazy things can happen in the Big Ten.
And they're up there towards the favorites to win the Big Ten after obviously the consensus Purdue. They're pretty
Mm-hmm.
close up there. I think Kern isn't going to be a scorer when it comes down to it. He had 2 points in this game, but Leo Boyle and Dunn, I think those are guys who can pretty consistently go out there and get theirs. Puff Johnson
Mm-hmm.
held the 1 point in this game.
He was.
Um, there's actually 2 dunks. Somebody steals the ball, transition, Puff goes for the dunk, swatted. DeMarco Dunn goes for the dunk, swatted. We got swatted twice in this game, but I think that's something you learn from, and in the future maybe we don't go for the big play, we just lay it up.
Well, live and learn. But I love seeing us done. I love seeing us try to actually make baskets, try to be aggressive. Because, like I said, if we do that, we get our foul shots. We make our foul shots. We win. Name of the
What
game.
an, what an exciting game, man. The
Oh,
BJC was bumping.
yes, it was. Yes,
Wish
it
you could have
was.
been there.
I know. I know. I'm a couple states away, but I know our good friend Colin Spencer, currently banned. Currently, we're gonna say why, but currently banned. I'm glad he got to see his Ohio State Buckeyes lose right in front of his face.
And oh my gosh, I've almost forgot to bring this up. The curse of Jamari Wheeler, man. I have to go back and look.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might have played Ohio State 3 or 4 times since Jamari Wheeler said, "Bring out the brooms." We've beaten Ohio. Ohio State. We maybe lost to one. We might have not lost to Ohio State since Jamari Wheeler said they were going to sweep us in the conference tournament. And Jamari Wheeler, Mahaffey, that whole thing, they go from Penn State to Ohio State. And I want to root for Mahaffey, but it's nice to see it not work out that well.
It is. Always, hey, 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 hey. Penn State wins a Penn State win. I'm glad. Hopefully, Mahaffey's doing Ohio State, but I'm trying to beat him every time I'm playing him.
And looking forward, the next Big Ten team we got is a Michigan State team that's 4-5.
Right. And I was watching them against Nebraska. And before the season, I said they were my preseason favorite just because they have so many. They, for one, have a debatable Big Ten player of the year in Tyson Walker. I mean, if you
Oh
saw the
my
game,
gosh.
he was raining it down. He makes his players better. Matty
He
Cisco,
got
who was
hot.
he's a great power forward who makes a lot of plays for his teams. You got Hall. I mean, he's got a bunch of seniors on that team, and Nebraska took them and they beat them at their own house. Yeah, 4-5. I'm shocked how Michigan State is just not living up to their standard. That being said, come March, I know Izzo will get them prepped, but as of now, they look very beatable.
Yeah, they do look really beatable, and they go on little spurts. Like, that's college
They do.
basketball. For 5 or 10 minutes, they just look incredible, and then the next 5 or 10 minutes, they can't get the ball in the basket.
Yeah.
Um, my main takeaway from Ohio State game though is Ohio State's really good this year. They're really good,
Yes, they are.
but we beat them.
We beat them. Score doesn't lie. Before we even get to Michigan State, we missed a big game. We're trying to talk about the ACC matchup with Georgia Tech, which will be a tough matchup because if you look at them, they beat Duke. People forget they beat Duke, but they have some weird losses in there. But I don't think we match up well with them. Their guards that average 30 points combined, they're both over 6'7". So who's guarding them? Puff Johnson and Ace?
That's a great question, but to that point, Ohio State's got some pretty big guards too, man.
They do. They do. I mean, Jameson Battle's no slouch, 6'5". He can shoot the three. Mahaffey, he was what is Mahaffey? Is it maybe like 6'8"?
Yeah, he's got to be 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah, because he got some rebounds for Penn State. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We guarded them pretty well. Jameson kind of got us in the first half.
He did. Georgia Tech's been a tough team to figure out recently. I've kind of followed them ever since Alvarado was there. I really liked Alvarado, so I kind of like watched them a little bit. And they'll win games they should win. They'll lose games they lose games they should lose, and it just makes no sense.
I mean, watch them against Duke. Duke had their hands full. Yeah, Duke had their hands full with them, but I mean, just to riddle off some losses they've had. I mean, it's like this team is just a quandary to me. Let me see what they got. No, dang it. No, that's not what I wanted. Schedule, there it is. Like Georgia, they lost to Georgia. They lost to Cincinnati. Lost to UMass Lowell. I mean, they're 3-3 their last 6.
You made the point too. Back to Penn State real quick. That you wanted to see us hold a team under 75 points.
Yes,
we still have not done that since you made that statement. But just reading off some stuff, Battle, he shot 3 for 8 from 3. He shot 50% from the field. Thornton 4 for 11. Gale 3 for 8. Like those aren't great shooting percentages, and they scored 80 points on us. But that was enough. And it's weird to see us play this fast paced where you can't really hold a team to 75 points if you're going to run up and down the court like we did against Ohio State.
Right, you're not wrong, and it plays to our strong suits. Like I said, I'm going with it. I'm riding with it. Kanye Claire, if he wants to be effective, he's got to go fast because he is fast. His first step is as quick as I've seen the Big Ten. Maybe Tyson Walker's a little bit faster, but if you want him to be effective, you got to play at that pace.
His finishing too is crazy, and to your point about Tyson Walker, Kanye's stronger than Tyson. I mean, Tyson can hit those deep ones though. But what else you got for me, Ty? What else you got? Georgia Tech coming up. Michigan State after that. Lemoyne sprinkled in there.
We have Lemoyne sprinkled in there. I mean, what else we got? What else we looking at? I mean, after that, right, Michigan State's 4th. We then go to Michigan, who Michigan they just took care of Iowa. Yeah. Took care of Iowa. Again, another. I mean, I'm gonna say it, Garbo. Talking Big Ten basketball, we have obviously Purdue right here in this like weird like 2nd, 3rd, 4th section. I mean, Illinois looks good.
Illinois looks really good to me.
Illinois looks really good. Who else we got there?
I think Michigan could get sneaky too. They're full of athletes. I don't think
Michigan. I think
Ohio
Wisconsin
State too.
Wisconsin is very tough. They got hot, but apart from that, I think anybody in the Big Ten is pretty beatable. Until otherwise proven. Apart from those 3 guys, I honestly could not tell you who 4th to 12th could be. Really,
it'll be interesting to see how Indiana is when they get Xavier Johnson back.
Agreed.
They're playing this Cups guy a lot. I think he's a freshman, and he's done well, but Xavier Johnson's got to take that team to a whole nother level.
He does, and he has seniorship. He has had a lot of college basketball experience under him. Cup's been doing great on defense, but I think Xavier Johnson. I think you're right. I think he's going to make not only the team, but more importantly, Khalil Ware, my favorite player in the Big Ten, better. Said it. Favorite player.
I don't know, man. I don't sleep on Michigan.
Okay, don't sleep on Michigan. I'll remember this for next pod.
All right, brother. Well, we did it. We got to win in December. We did it.
Got an overtime in December as well, which it doesn't end up as a win, but in my heart, that shows a lot more. Well, the boys are grooving. Hopefully, it goes over to Georgia Tech. We get a win there. We just keep the momentum going. All we can ask for.
53 rebounds, though, man. 53 rebounds.
53 rebounds. So what are the keys of the game?
DeMarco Dunn, get him
DeMarco
going.
Dunn's a key. Okay.
And to your point about the 75 points, how about we out rebound a team? Can we
Out
do
rebound a
that?
team.
Can we
Georgia
out
Tech will,
rebound a team?
Georgia Tech will be a tough answer to get out rebound just because their guards are huge and they gang rebound really well. So be ready for that. I think that's a tough one. But if we do that, Christ, we might win by 10.
I mean, Ohio State 43 rebounds to our 31.
Zach Key's a
Maryland
big guy.
53. Yeah, but Wahab is too.
Wahab is too. Wahab, need you to rebound. Leo Boyle, keep making threes.
DeMarco
Kanye
Dunn,
Clary. Kanye
way to
Clary,
come
keep making
along.
offensive plays, keep making opportunities for our guys. Ace Baldwin, make your mid-range shots.
That's all we got, right?
That's all we got. That's all we need.
Wow, what a blast.
Right? All right, Garbo. Until next time, brother.
Peace.
Peace.